All right, we just got home. You
What
had
are
three
we doing,
assists.
Shannon?
She had 3 assists today,
I did. I didn't know
and
you were going to be turning on the camera.
I had two.
I think you tricked me into this.
Tricked you into what?
This whole
Hi.
videoing thing.
Huh?
This whole videoing thing.
Um. So we watched. Here it is. I've got the DVD right here. We watched this a few days ago. I actually,
Oh yeah.
I redeemed it. See through Universal Redeem. Uh, which is good because every other redemption way that I have to redeem digital copies went kerplooey in Canada. So I'm glad they came up with a new one. And it doesn't even say in here you get a digital copy; it just says Blu-ray DVD. So it's weird
Yeah.
because normally it says Blu-ray DVD
Right.
digital
Yeah.
copy. So this is Happy Death Day to You. This is the sequel. It was definitely a sequel. If you haven't seen it, we recommend it. I recommend it. I don't know if you recommend it.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's a fun movie.
And then but yeah, she had 3 assists. She also played less than half of the game.
Yeah.
So her
I'm
advanced
also
stats,
the team videographer.
her advanced stats really kick ass today. So I didn't videotape while she was playing because I didn't think she would have liked that.
Nobody needs to see me run.
So
Just,
hey, people make comments about me running all the time.
I know. Because
So
they don't ever see you run or move. They see you stand.
I know,
They don't
and
see the bottom
my
half
legs
of
are
you.
really not happy with me. I think we played longer than we normally do.
I said that.
So
We
it'll be
normally
fine.
play for 2 hours, and
No,
it
we
was
play more
almost
than that.
3. Today we did, yeah.
Yeah, because I like it that way. Most of them seem to want to go, and I'm like, nah, we're gonna keep playing. Because I like 3 hours was my that was where I would always play when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So even though my body doesn't like it, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna play for 3 hours. All right. That being said, Happy Death Day to you. If you haven't seen it, you want to avoid spoilers, go watch it. And now we're gonna get into spoiler territory. This is not a horror movie.
No, not at all.
The first
Not in the
one,
least bit.
the first one they do like the Groundhog Day kind of thing. This one really doesn't do that. Um, and it gets into the character Ryan. I really like the Ryan character. I thought he was fun. He's just the one that in the first movie storms into the room and goes, "Hey, did you hit that fine vagina?" And then, she smacks him or whatever she did in that day. But he says it every time. And this one, it gets into what causes these time loops to happen. And they were going to do a third part, but because this movie underperformed in theaters, they're not going to do it.
Good.
Well, remember how it ends, right?
Third one?
The ending was supposed to be the beginning of the third part,
That would be
where
awful.
they do it to Danielle.
Okay.
So it would be Danielle
Right.
going through the same day over and over again.
That wouldn't have been good.
So.
Like, this one was unnecessary.
Oh, absolutely.
A third would have been, I think that would have been pushing it too much.
I think that's why this one didn't do very well at the box office. It really wasn't needed. They didn't need to do a sequel. They didn't need to go back and tell us what happened to Tree and
no.
her boyfriend and everybody else.
It's an okay movie, but
Yes, as a movie, I thought it was all right.
It kind of takes away from the first movie to me.
Yes.
Like, explaining how it happened. Like, can you imagine Groundhog's Day if then they did another one and this is why it was reading?
See, the original cut of Groundhog Day, the original idea with Groundhog Day was that at the start of it, Bill Murray's jilted ex-lover was going to put a curse on him. And he was going to be cursed to spend the rest of his life reliving the same day over and over again. And they removed that aspect when they filmed the movie. They went, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, I think that kind of takes away from
because
movies like
in the first movie, you get the idea that Tree goes on this journey, and she learns how to be a better person, and then she figures out who's killing her, and it's this nice tightly knit sort of, and it's not entirely unlike Groundhog Day, where Bill Murray doesn't get out of the day until he gets it perfect.
Right.
So once the day is perfect, then he is free to go to the next day, which we assume he's able to do forever at that point.
Right.
And in this movie, they kind of say, all right, yeah, she went on the personal journey, but it really didn't matter.
Right. Yeah,
because
when she figures that out, she's just like, wait, what?
It was a machine that made her jump in, and they didn't really explain how it worked.
Because you can't.
I really thought that the magical machine in this movie, the literal Deus Ex Machina of this movie, they don't really explain it very well.
No.
It's sort of, this creates a time loop. And she was caught in it.
Right, and they don't explain, like, why
was she caught in it?
Who, and... Because it was her, and then it was the other guy, but it only did it for him, like, one day. And then it goes back to her, and it makes her go back.
And then there's a second version of him in that reality,
right,
and it's from another...
explain that, why, how he was able to
because he's like, you gotta stop this Ryan, because he's gonna do horrible things and destroy the universe. And then he didn't.
I thought that was gonna show up, like, at the end of the movie, and they'd be like, oh, well, you need to go back and do this and warn him. No.
No, that's just that Ryan apparently dies or something. They don't...
Just disappears. Goes back to his reality.
And I don't understand either, like, you know, if Ryan's trying to off the other Ryan, why do it that way?
Right?
Why be so obvious and sloppy about it? And it just, I didn't find that. It's sort of like they said, okay, the audience is stupid. Right. So all we need to do is put somebody in a baby mask and have them running around killing people, and then we'll pull the rug out from under them, and we'll tell them what the movie's really about. Because as soon as they unmask him, then they get into the other thing. Of course, there's a baby mask killer in the alternate reality, which again, I didn't think they needed it.
No,
it was an unnecessary. It's almost like they went, okay, the woman that was the killer in the original movie, we need to make sure we redeem her. When I don't think anybody cared if she was redeemed. It's not a character we got to know.
No, I think it was just to make a little twist. So there was that part of, oh, I need to kill her. Wait, no, somebody's after her.
I thought it was weird.
Oh, and there's a lot weird about the movie.
I found myself thinking, how many psychopathic people does Tree have in her life? She needs to make better choices. Because her roommate and the guy she was fooling around with, both of them psychotic, and the guy's wife was psychotic. She needs to make better choices in life. And I don't understand how they thought they were going to get away with all these murders. Throughout 2 movies, you've got this character.
Because it was the guy.
The killer at the hospital.
Yeah.
I get it. But that only works if nobody does any forensic testing.
Right.
That only works if your cops are complete and total idiots. Which it's a movie, so they are, but still. I thought it was kind of reaching at that point. So I can see why a third movie... I don't think a third movie would work.
Been really bad.
I thought...
This one was entertaining, but the
storyline
was kind of...
It was funny in parts.
Yeah.
And it was... I thought it was well put together.
You just don't want to think too much about it.
But, yeah. Because, again, with that machine, they don't explain it.
No.
And I don't understand for the life of me why I don't... The guy who runs the university, why does he hate the machine so much?
Because it's expensive and it causes the rolling blackouts. From my understanding, was the cost.
But he just sits it in a room. He takes it away from them.
So they can't plug it in.
Because
it's causing all these problems. It's expensive and it causes problems.
It's just...
So being like the principal in movies and stuff.
He was your typical dumb principal.
Yes.
He was very 80s-like in how stupid he was.
Yes.
I even thought, when Danielle's doing the whole French blind thing, I thought, okay, he sees through this. And I'm like, he doesn't see through this?
That was so dorky.
He's our villain, and he's too stupid to see through this? The funny thing is, I still thoroughly entertained, enjoyable movie. I can understand why the trilogy isn't going to be wrapped up. Because Danielle is a reprehensible person.
She would be a horrible character to have a whole movie based on.
And again, if you're going to make a movie about her, and redeem her. Why? You don't have to redeem every single character in a movie.
She was terrible
not,
in the first one, and then in the second one, she's like a different version of her.
But she's still awful.
She's still a terrible
They
person.
set it up so that Danielle seems like she's a nice girl, and then you find out she's still horrible anyways. So, I think the only reason that Tree's boyfriend in that reality was dating her is because she was good looking. I can't think of any other reason. Because he's a boy, so that's...
Yeah, I can't understand that, but I think because he actually thinks she's a good person.
That was weird.
She's doing all of this.
The charity stuff.
Yeah.
Which was weird. Because if that's added and yet she's a horrible person... anyways. It was... But again, did I enjoy it? Yes. But again, when you start quibbling on the details, it's not as strong as the first movie.
No.
The first movie is fantastic. Now, the one thing I will say is Jessica Roth really nailed it in this movie. I thought her acting in this was fantastic. She was good in the first movie. She's good in this movie. And her reaction when she realizes she's woke up and it's the same day again is fantastic.
What are you looking for down there?
It is fantastic. It's wonderful. And her interactions going through that whole morning where everything's happening the same.
Yep. Yep.
And then they don't dwell on it. So one thing I will say for this movie, they don't dwell on it. They don't go, okay, we're going to repeat the same day over and over and over, and we're going to make it the same thing that you saw in the first movie, because it worked there too.
Definitely not.
But there are, again, when she drank the bleach, I'm like, you don't just drop dead as soon as you drink bleach. That's not how it works.
No, didn't she drink Drano?
Was it Drano?
Yeah, it was Drano.
Oh, that would kill you.
It wasn't bleach, it was Drano.
But it's not a pleasant thing.
No.
It's not like you just fall down. It's not like, oh, Drano, I'll just fall down. It's not pleasant. I really, really gotta say, that would not be a pleasant way to go.
No, that...
But it's a PG-13 movie, so they got the F word out of the way 5 minutes into the movie. I don't know if you noticed.
I did.
When a movie's PG-13, they can only have the F word in it once.
It's so weird. What's it rated in Canada, though? I would guess it's...
14A.
Okay.
So, you have to be 14 to get in without an adult.
Without.
So, yeah, in Canada, we don't worry so much about how many F words are in a show. Just says violence, coarse language, and not recommended for children. And that's it.
Yeah, the boys would be fine watching that one.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a big deal. I don't think they'd care. No. It kind of gets into the multiverse idea, and the opening credits hit you with the idea that there's all kinds of multiverses, and then, no. Because I thought, how many multiverses are we going to look at here? How many different versions? No, they just do the one. Just the one, and then they keep it, which is fine, keep it simple. And then, it's, do you want to go back to your own reality? Which Tree says eventually, yes, although initially she says no.
Right.
Which is a nice character arc. She does have a nice character arc in this movie, which I guess that was okay. It's just, it kind of, the one drawback is you could kind of pick where the writer's going, okay, we didn't do this in the last movie, so we'll throw that into this one. We didn't, like the whole bit with the mother, right? Well, we didn't really have an arc with that, so we'll throw that in here. And then we'll have Danielle have a little bit of an arc here. So it kind of feels like they jumbled together all the parts from, like if we wrote an album together, and then there's a whole bunch of B-sides we don't use, and we go, well, we can throw these B-sides together and make it a movie. It kind of has that feel at points.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it works. Because the cast bought in, and it's very well directed, it's very well acted, and it's a fun movie. So, if you've seen the original, if you've seen Happy Death Day, I really honestly would recommend Happy Death Day to you. I know I'm going to end up watching them back to back.
Yeah.
Probably a few times.
Right.
Because it would be fun to watch these back to back, because it would totally work. The second movie picks up exactly where the first one leaves off. Although there's a couple of things that they included with Ryan's morning that they shouldn't have, because it's supposed to be the day after.
Right.
So since it's the day after, unless the guy with the trombone gets yelled at every day.
Which could totally be.
Anyways, so there you go. If you've seen it and you enjoyed it, let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. She did have 3 assists today. Her advanced stats are so fantastic. Her points scored per minutes on the court, way ahead of mine. I have a lot of work to do to get my game up, and she was simply too fast for me to film.
That's not a thing.
Too fantastic and too fast. I could not film it.
That's not how that works.
There was no way. Although, there were 3 or 4 occasions where we passed it to each other.
That's true.
And we did well. We were on the same team, which is good because if we were on the opposite team, she would have mugged me a lot.
It works really well.
Anyways, there you go. So let me know what you guys thought or think in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.